All right, gang, welcome back to our survival challenge here on New Frontier. It is August, day 1. We're getting close here, gang. We're getting close to the end of the series here. The oat field, the newest oat field, I guess, the one way over there to the left that we seeded or drilled I don't know, a handful of episodes ago, whatever it was. It's already ready to harvest, so that's good. So we're going to harvest that today. I'm doing the second application of fertilizer here in our grass field that we made in the last episode, obviously. We are also going to be drilling the extension of that field that we made, the really big field down there. I think we're going to put canola in there. I think that's what today is canola. I know yesterday's episode of the one-tile challenge, we also were putting canola in, but it's just that time period. Both the series have kind of aligned here with the months, so we'll be putting canola in down there, and we'll be harvesting that oat field today. So pretty productive day, pretty good day, honestly. Should make us a good amount of money. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Things are pretty good here. I am at home. This is not really Farming Simulator related, but I've been dealing with some bird problems. They keep trying to come up into our house, the entryway to the door. It's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's like pushed back in, I guess, a little bit, and then above the door there's like a little window or whatever. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Well, bird keeps coming up in there and trying to make a nest up there. I bought these little plastic things to put up there, like spiky plastic things that a lot of buildings and stuff put in to prevent birds from making nests and things like that. So I bought those, I put them up there, and the bird knocked them all over. So I'm going to have to go up there and actually secure them, but I've been dealing with him. He's been a bit of a pain in my rear end. So this bird keeps coming up and waking me up at like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, trying to make a nest in that window above the door. So what am I telling you that for? Well, I don't know. I'm a little tired, I guess. I guess that's what I'm telling you for. I don't know. Something I've been dealing with, and it's driving me crazy, and I figured I'd just tell you in case you happen to hear the bird in the background, because he is loud. He's not happy with me for moving his nest every day, every few minutes. All right, so that is done. I'm going to grab the drill here. You know what? I think it's only canola we can put in today anyway, but we should take a look. Poplar can be put in. Yeah, it's just canola today. So yeah, we're just going to put canola in. I'll use the John Deere for it. Excuse me, gang. Man. No, what's going on with my voice this morning? All right, we got plenty of seed and fertilizer in here, so I'm not too concerned about it. Well, I don't know if plenty is the right word to use, but we have enough for now. If we have to go fill up, we can do so. Now, we likely are going to have the worker doing a little bit of this for us. They might be doing either some of the seeding, the drilling here, or the harvesting. I'm not sure which yet. Maybe a little bit of both. We might be doing a little bit of both as well, right? We've also got pallets here that we need to take a look at and see if it's best time to sell them. I know it's coming up here soon. I also have, if I can get over here, the worker might be done by now, honestly. Oh, he ran out of slurry. I was going to say, I have the worker started again over here, but he ran out of slurry. We don't have any more slurry, so there's not really a whole lot we can do. It's just going to have to be a portion of this will not have the slurry put down, which, you know, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal, but all right, I'm going to turn the steering assist on here to help me out. All right, and we are underway. Now, this field is truly a massive field, and the drill we have here is nice, but it's not that big of a drill, right? So this is going to take us a while to do, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. But it's not going to be a fast process here. Now, we do have this field over here as well that can be drilled. We put slurry and everything down on it. We are going to put something in there. Just probably won't be canola. I think we're going to make this field a canola field, and then the field over there that we had slurry being put down, the bigger field over there, we're going to make that a canola field as well. And we'll probably put wheat or barley or something in that field right there. sad to see this one coming to a close, but I do believe we are at a stage now where it is time to move on to something else, and I've got a pretty good idea for the next series. It's something I've been working on. Now, this is a series that truly I didn't even normally. Whenever I have my monthly video with my members, because I do a series for my members specifically. What are we doing here? Why are we going around? Oh, is there a stump there? Oh, there's some stumps here we missed. I thought we got them all. There's a bunch of stumps in here. Okay, hold on. Let's get rid of these stumps here. I should have went the other way, I guess. I thought we get rid of all those stumps. It's been a couple days since I've done an episode, so... I don't know why, for some reason, I had thought we did this, but I guess I ran out of time in the last episode and we didn't get it done. But that's okay. We're doing it now. We've only got a couple left here to do. As you can see, I've already been kind of driving all over the field here. Just trying to make sure we get rid of them all, and I think we've got them all, but I'm going to leave the tractor and the Tree Devour mod over here just in case we did miss one. I'll try to reset the steering assist and everything, and hopefully we won't have to drive around those stumps and anything like that anymore. I'm just going to put this over here for right now. Alright, let's see if we can reset this. Looks alright. Yep, it's working now. Man, I don't know what's going on in my throat here. Sorry, gang. It's like something stuck in my throat or something. I don't know what's going on. I'll take a drink. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so back to the canola. And, yeah, so canola in this field, canola in the other field that almost was able to be successfully completed with the slurry, and save the field over here to the left for a wheat or a barley of some sort, and then the field we're going to harvest today, the oat field we're going to harvest today, that will also be either a wheat or a barley, one or the other. I've been trying to think about this area straight ahead of us that you're seeing, right? The area to the right of our poplar field, right? I've been trying to think about what to do with that area. Mentioned it briefly, I think, in the last episode that I had a couple of ideas, but I wasn't positive I wanted to utilize them here. One of them I'm pretty positive I'm going to use in the one-tiled challenge, so as I've mentioned many times, I try my best. It's not always going to be the case, but I try my best to, incorporate or implement different productions, different equipment in each series. I don't really like running the same stuff in each series. Now, sometimes there's just nothing for it, especially early on in, the lifespan of Farming Simulator 25. There wasn't a whole lot of options, so we had to then, but options are getting a little bit better on ModHub, so I'm doing whatever I can to not do that. I'd ideally like to have different pieces of equipment being utilized in each series. Now, if a series ends, right, then obviously you could start utilizing something because we're not actively doing a video on that one, but whenever I have another series running simultaneously to this one, for example, I do everything I can to not utilize the same exact equipment. I want to try to different, tractors, different implementations, different productions, different animal coops, different all that stuff. Now, greenhouses are one thing, right? There's just a limited number of greenhouses. There's not really a whole lot you can do about that, right? So that's an example of some things you're just not going to be able to do that with. But equipment-wise and most production-wise, I should be able to get around that. Now, I was talking about the replacement for this series, and I'm very excited about it. I'm working on it. It is taking me a while to get set up properly the way that I want it to be. And without giving too much away, it's going to be a loosely based story series, I guess, about a real-life situation. So I'm going to leave it at that, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be fun. I don't know if I'll be able to, I guess it depends on how much I incorporate some kind of a a story into it. And I say loosely because there will be certain periods of time where we might have a little bit more of a role play effect to that specific episode, and then there'll be other times where we're literally just doing, you know, what we have to do, right? We've got to drill a field, we've got to harvest a field, whatever it is, right? We've got, you know, goals and objectives to complete. But there might be a little bit of a flair of a story included with it. Now, some of the story might not be as exciting as maybe you're expecting it to be. It might be more of, hey, I got a phone call, this, and this, whatever, right? It might not be the whole extent of the role play there, if that makes any sense. Although I'd like to do that, I just don't think I'm going to have the time to do it on a consistent basis. I don't know why we did that little turn there. We missed a very small section, but we missed a section nonetheless. I don't know what that was about. Anyway. So yeah, we'll see, right? We'll see how things go, but I've been working on that. I've had to spend a good amount of time trying to set the map up the way that I want it, and it'll all make sense when that series is released. I hope it does well. I'm excited for it. Now, as far as a survival challenge, when that series comes out, there will not be a survival challenge on the channel at that point, but there will be a survival challenge coming back soon, I promise. It'll be sooner than you expect it to be. I'm not positive what I want to do as far as the next survival challenge goes, though. I don't know if I want to start in a similar fashion. Maybe now that we have some more options, maybe we can start the more traditional way with a chainsaw, a small tractor, and a small trailer, something like that. Or do we want to go a little bit of a different route? Do we want to go with like an antique or like a vintage type of survival challenge? I don't know. I don't know if there's enough equipment out there that we could call vintage or antique or anything like that. I don't know if there's enough out there for us to be able to produce a series like that yet on ModHub. As you know, I'm on ModHub, so I have only access to what comes out on ModHub, and I'm afraid that there's not quite enough stuff yet for that. But hopefully, you know, by the time we start up at the next one, there should be some more out there, and that would help assist us. But really, it's going to, you know, we're going to need the basics, right? We're going to need some kind of a seeder or a planter that's old. I do know there is that one old planter. It's like 2 meter width. So that, I guess, technically we could get around it with that. The harvester we're utilizing in the one tile challenge should probably also be utilized for that. I think that's a pretty old harvester. I'd have to look it up, though. Maybe somebody in the comments will let me know. I do know we have some other ones in there that are relatively, I would consider to be vintage, or, you know, antique, probably not the right word, but vintage, right? There are some in there that are from the 90s or whatever. I would say that's vintage, right? That's 30 years ago. Okay, which way are we going here? I don't even remember which way we're supposed to be going up and downs with... okay, so we're doing 3 headland passes. Okay. So that's an option, right? I've kind of had a drive to try to do that, but I'm not sure we will start that until the completion of the one-tile challenge, though, because we are kind of, to a small effect, doing a bit of a vintage survival series with that one. Maybe not the same way, because you start with money and everything, right? But it's a similar type, I guess, of equipment being used there. So it might be best for us to hold off on the vintage thing. Maybe we do a more traditional survival challenge. I don't know. But those are some thoughts I have. I also have some other challenges that I've been working through that I showed to my members, and they seemed interested in a couple of them at least. So we'll see, right? We'll see what comes up. Now, this series that I have envisioned to take the place of this one. My goal is to try to get at least 2 videos out a week, if not 3. You know, maybe alternate a little bit with the one-tile challenge, right? If I'm having a hard time getting that many out for the reasons I've already mentioned, that it's going to be a little bit more of a story-based, loosely story-based series, we might end up adding another series into the mix. Now, initially I wanted to try to get all of my series down to just, you know, 2 running on the channel, plus the bonus series of the time-lapse series, which, you know, it's not It's not like a lot of people like watching a time-lapse series, so that, that's just an extra thing, or whenever I'm running out of time and if I have one ready to go, I can, release that for all of you to watch. So we'll see, right? If I have to run 3 because the story series is taking a little bit longer than I anticipated for me to edit and record and all that stuff, then so be it. But we'll see, right? We'll see. So a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pipe, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Probably didn't really give you any specific ideas of what is going to be happening next, but there are some exciting things coming down the pipe, I promise. The one-tile challenge has been extremely successful. Very happy with it. I would like to do another series of that in the future as well. Obviously, there's going to be something between that one and the next one. We're not going to jump right into a Series 2. I think that's a little bit too soon for it, and we're really not that close to finishing that series anyway, right? We haven't paid a single dime on the loan yet, and really, we're just now starting to get into our own here with having a full field of stuff, right? We still have a little bit of land. We've got some ideas for that land. Some of those ideas to kind of round this out are ones that I was considering putting into this series, but I'm going to hold off because of that one-tile challenge. I think some of those would be better fit for that. The turning radius on this thing is not that good. I think I say that every time we do this one, but it's not. It's not that good of a turning radius. Wide turns. It does seem that we got rid of all the stumps, though. I'm not seeing any other stumps here. Yeah, okay, good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this on a worker for a brief period. I don't know what the worker's going to do. They might end quickly, because since I started going down the middle here. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that. But anyway. Alright, let the worker do what they want here. We're going to jump into the harvester here. The Nixat harvester. A lot of you have mentioned that this thing is really only meant for big, massive fields, and you're not lying at all. It is definitely, that is what it's meant for. It is very hard to maneuver elsewhere. It's very hard for me to be able to maneuver it around some of the fields we currently have, but now that I think we've got a better idea of, having really flat fields and then the grass fields up on the hill, I think it's going to be a little bit easier for us to be able to manage this. Is it going to be perfect still? Absolutely not. 100% no. No, not at all. But I do think with the flat-ish fields and the big open areas that we have here, it will be a little bit easier to do. Okay, let's unfold this thing. It always turns the camera way further than I want it to go for whatever reason. All right. We are underway. Do we want to drop straw? How much straw do we have, actually? I should look at that. How much straw do we have? Let's do a quick autosave first. We have no straw left. We want to drop straw then. Okay, or don't drop straw. Fine, there we go. I literally hit the button. It didn't accept it for some reason. Okay, here we go. We're dropping straw down. Now the cornfield, it should be ready in September, I believe. So, we have a few episodes left. We do not have many. Let me make sure I'm correct in that statement before we move on here. Corn, no, it's October. I'm sorry, it's October. Okay, so we've got at least 6 episodes left, because I said we're going to do 2 episodes per month for the rest of the series. So we have 6 episodes left, so that's what, about 2 weeks to go from the time of this recording before this is over. That should give me enough time, now that I know that for a fact, that should give me enough time to absolutely be able to set up the new series. Now, we might, I think I mentioned it, but we might start that series, like, an episode or 2 before this series ends, right? We might just get it going But that probably won't start until, well, I guess later on this week, depending on when you're watching this, right? Now, this thing is absolutely not the easiest thing to maneuver and turn, but it's not that bad. On these fields down here, with the room that we've given ourselves, it's really not that bad. It's not that bad. I wanted to figure out a way to incorporate it. We were able to do so in this series, and really, this is probably one of the only series we'd actually be able to incorporate it anyway. Since it is a DLC, and I paid for the whole first year, I wanted to figure out a way to utilize it, so I'm happy we were able to do so. Very happy, actually. Now, we haven't done it with the corn yet, the corn header, but we will be doing that here, obviously, in October, like I mentioned. Now, I will note, when October does come and we start to harvest the corn, there may not be 2 episodes then, now that I've said that there's going to be 6. There may not be 2 then. It really depends on what we have left to do, right? If we've got a lot to do, there's a lot to harvest, there's a lot of things to get set up, then yeah, well, we can wait to do the corn harvest until the second day in October, but if we get to October and really the only thing we have left to do is literally just the corn harvest, probably not going to do another day, right? It is Indy 500 weekend. I think the time this video comes out. Yeah, I believe when this video comes out, it will be the day of the Indy 500. Do you watch the Indy 500? Are you interested? I love the Indy 500. I've gone to the Indy 500 for, I think, the last 5 or 6 in a row, something like that. I'm not going this year, unfortunately. I mentioned to you, I know a couple of times now, that June is a very, very, very busy month for me. Well, I guess a week from the day that you're watching this, I will be in Toronto for a work training. And then I get back, and then not even, I think, a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I go for a work trip to one of my clients. And then another week and a half, 2 weeks after that, we're going to Boston, take my mom to watch the Boston Red Sox versus Cincinnati Reds. She's a big Reds fan, big baseball fan, and never been to Boston, so we're going to go to the stadium and all that. We're surprising her with like a backstage tour kind of thing, which is going to be kind of cool. See Fenway and everything behind the scenes, so it'll be fun. That's just a long weekend, but still, I mean, just June, just what I told you, right? Very, very busy. So because of all those reasons, I decided this year to not go to the Indy 500. I'm very upset about it. I wanted to go, but just money-wise, it didn't make sense for us to do so. All right, I'm going to put this on a worker. All right, let's go ahead and take this back, get this out of the way. You know what? I think I'm just going to cultivate the rest of this up. We've already pretty much got it done anyway. It's not going to put slurry down. That's fine. But let's just cultivate it up. Seems like this field's doing the same thing. Is there a stump here that we missed on the edge? Why does it have such an awkward turn right here? Uh-oh, controller batteries are low. That's not good. I ran into that issue, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, a month ago, something like that, where controller batteries died right in the middle of the recording. So I tell you what, I'm going to finish the rest of this cultivation. There's just a small amount here and then a small amount down there, and we're done. And I'll change my battery out real quick, so I'll just do this off camera real quick. Alright, we are done. Battery's changed. We're good to go. Shouldn't have any more issues than the rest of the episode now. Let's fold this up. I'm going to go put this away, and we'll go take a look and see how the worker is doing on the seeding of the canola in the big massive field, and probably end up taking over for them, more than likely. Workers doing okay here. Shouldn't take long. Another pass or two, maybe 3, and they'll be done. So that's good. Ooh, don't run into the tree, Z, while you're looking at the worker. A lot of wool that we need to move over. We need to move that wool over today as well. So we'll do that too. And the worker looks like they're almost done, actually, so that's good. That's good. Alright, so I'm just going to park this here for right now. I'll take over here. I don't know why that's doing different textures there. I guess it's because this portion up here we're just kind of reseeding without it being cultivated, and down here it was all plowed up. So I guess that's really the reason why. Just looks a little weird, but it'll all fix itself once it germinates. I think we're gonna have to touch that area up over there, though. I don't think the worker went down that way. Now, we're not going to be able to harvest this field, but this is going to be a very, very lucrative field there for sure. Actually, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. We're going to hit this portion right here, but actually, it looks like there's a little tiny section that was missed on each area right here at the end for some reason. We can turn around and try to hit all these ends here, because there's clearly something missed there. I don't know why. I don't know if there was some kind of issue with the the header passes or what. But there's clearly, you can see it if you look close enough right there, that has not been drilled, right? All right, let's fold this up. Can't seem to get my throat clear for some reason. We'll head on over to the field that we just finished the cultivation on. And we'll go ahead and put the canola down over there as well. All right, we're all done there. The buffalo mozzarella is actually best in September. I think I might say that every episode, but for some reason I feel like it's August. I don't know why I always thought that, but it's September, so we're not going to be doing anything with that. The worker's still going strong here on this field. They're almost done, and we'll probably be taking over for the worker here in just a second. I just want to get the harvester here out of the way. As far as the straw goes on this field, we're not going to worry about it today. We're going to pick that up in the next episode. Because the next episode will still be in August, right? It'll be August day 2, so there's not going to be really any major issue. And there's not an issue in this game anyway, because I really did not line this up properly, did I? There's not an issue in this game anyway, because the game allows you to leave the straw on the ground for pretty much as long as you want. It really doesn't go away. That's something I kind of wish they would have added into this game, though, is that, you know, eventually it would start to disintegrate. Or maybe you would get less yield off the actual field itself if you waited to pick up the straw. You know, something like that. Something very simple like that, I think, would be a nice addition. But they didn't do it, so I'm still holding out hope. I know it's a dumb hope. I'm still holding out hope for some ducks, though. It's a very easy. I feel like that's a very easy thing for them to add, but they didn't do it. So whatever. All right, we can move this back out of the way. You guys know I don't like just leaving things kind of all sitting around if at all possible. I like keeping things relatively where they belong, and this one is that way, and so is the trailer over here. So we're going to move those and get that back to where they should be. And whatever's remaining, if anything's remaining, I guess, for the worker on that canola field, we will take over and complete that here in just a second. Okay. Or don't attach, just unhook the tree devourer mod instead. Sure, that works. Alright, that was all put away. We're pretty much done here at this field. I'm going to look around and make sure the worker didn't miss much. Looks like there's a couple small sections here we're going to have to kind of touch up on. But for the most part, the worker did an okay job. Now, I was talking earlier about, you know, we may or may not end up doing 2 episodes when October comes and it's time to harvest the cornfield. More I think about it, we probably will have to, because we're going to have so much to sell in that silo. It's going to take us a while to sell all that in the silo. There's going to be a lot of trips just for the wood chips alone. Now, while I'm not literally going to be selling every piece of equipment we have, or probably not going to sell any of the equipment that we have, we are, and we did mention that we are going to sell everything out of the silos. So that's something that's going to take us a while. We've got a lot of wood chips, 2 million and something in there in the wood chips. Pretty crazy, honestly. It's a lot of wood chips. And while it's not going to be the best time to sell them, it is still going to provide us with a lot of money. All right, let's just do a quick bird's eye view here and make sure that nothing was missed here on this field. I don't think the worker missed anything. Maybe right there. Right there. Nope, that's not. We're good. Yeah, it's drilled. Yep, okay, we're good. It's good enough. So we'll go put this away. Now, the next episode, what we're going to do is pick up the straw off the ground. We're going to cultivate or plow that field up one way or another. And we're going to do a little bit more of the beautification, I guess, is how I would call it, of the areas here as well. So I've mentioned, right, we've got rid of some stuff here. We now have some more room to kind of maneuver things around here. And we're going to try to clean it up a little bit more. We're going to add the track in that we still haven't done yet to... So we're going to add the track in over here that I've been talking about doing for a little while, right? We're going to do the extension here, wrap it around these trees, through these trees, up and around, and then have one come here, and then one around to here and connect to here. So we're going to do that as well. A couple of ideas as well. Like I said, I've got something for this area here we're going to put down. So that's what we're going to be working on in the next episode. But for this one, we're going to leave it here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you smashed the like button for me. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.